Welcome back, chefs, to The Kitchen. We are your hosts, Jake Weisler and Nate Tian, and we're excited for you to join us. This is a big episode this week because it marks our 1 month
Yeah.
of being podcasters.
Feels like a therapy
officially.
session.
So Nate and I have never been closer. We hope you guys are enjoying it. We're having a fun time just talking and sharing your stories about how funny the wedding industry actually is and little inside look on some of the funny things that go down. So, this episode is sponsored by our amazing sponsor, Wet Editor. They are quickly becoming one of our favorite editing companies, and like we said before, they've killed edits for us in the past, and we actually have edits being worked on right now that we're really excited to get back. So, if you guys want a high-end, elevated editing service, Wet Editor is our go-to, and it should be your go-to as well. Blessed to have them in our corner. But without further ado, we're going to dive into today's episode of Bridezillas, or I guess the name of this episode is Bridezillas, Groomzillas, and Mothers of the Bride. We thought we'd group those all in together because all three of those tend to make or break a good wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, let's cook.
Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
How you doing, Jake?
Good afternoon, Nathan.
How'd you sleep?
Wow, it's been a while since I've slept.
Really?
Guys, this is the first time we've actually recorded a podcast that's not at 8 a.m. So
Oh, yeah.
we're sitting here on a Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
What is it, 4 p.m., 3 p.m.?
Yeah. I just
4?
got a haircut, and I wasn't
Looks
anticipating
fantastic.
this.
Great fade.
I have hair on my shirt.
Yeah, you do. It's okay. You're usually kind of the slobbish of the two of us.
He caught me on the day where I'm wearing my same pants again.
I wouldn't say I caught you on that day. You're usually just wearing those
It's
pants.
five out of 7 days, yeah.
You and Samuel.
yeah,
it's good.
no.
Good Monday. I don't know.
Good
We
Monday.
were sitting there editing. I was like, let's go to a podcast. So
Yeah. Yep. Why not?
perks of having it all in the same room, I guess.
I guess so.
And we have some great content. So
It's
we're gonna
it's quieter here at 4 p.m.
It
than,
is.
than 8 a.m.
not the morning rush, not the guys playing music outside.
Not yet.
I have noticed a lot of echo in our podcast, so we'll
I
talk
have
a little
to,
bit
yeah.
quieter. But guys, one day we'll have our own space. It won't be a huge warehouse echoey room.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just start. Yeah.
One day.
Monday.
Anyways, you guys, today we're going to be talking about Zillas. All things Zillas.
The Zillaverse.
Bridezillas, Groomzillas, and Mothers of the Bride. Momzillas, would you call them?
In here, we just have it as mothers of the bride.
Yeah.
Momzillas?
Because we had just Bridezillas, but then one of our planner friends said, you need to put a Groomzilla section in there because she has a lot of Groomzilla stories, which surprised me. But I feel like you and I have had some Groomzillas as well.
Definitely had some Groomzillas.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Were you a Groomzilla?
Funny you asked that because I was going to ask you. No, I would like to say I wasn't a Groomzilla. But, no,
You
like.
don't think you were?
No, I don't. Was I? You filmed in.
No. But
No.
No.
Go on. Please.
What? No, you weren't a Groomzilla.
Why'd you hesitate?
Where's the line between being... No, because you're not...
Why'd you hesitate?
Because I got married before being in this world. You were deep in this world when you got married. So were you more particular than Kayla was about your wedding because you had been to so many, you kind of knew the vision, or was it not like that?
No. I wouldn't say I was particular.
I don't think you were either. You were very.
feel
You guys were very chill.
And neither is Kayla. In fact, again, kind of going back to the food thing, we've talked about Kayla's food choices many times. How I like fine foods, I enjoy the taste, and then she's just like flattened chicken, burnt, gross, and we kind of the struggle. It was kind of like that with our wedding film because I know what looks good,
Yeah.
what's timeless, things like that, and she's just like in the Visco girl era. Everything's blurry, black and white. So she's like, I would love it if our whole film was just blurry,
Out of focus.
out of
Yeah.
focus. So I'm like, oh,
But you're kind of like you see the point of having timeless and
yeah. And so, yeah, when we took portraits and things like that, we worked with Spencer, we worked with Courtney, and they did a great job of adapting and just doing let's get crazy. Let's
Spencer went way different.
Yeah, and they got some cool blurry ones that she loves. But I mean, yeah, our bridal film that you did,
Yeah. No, you guys were super chill.
and incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
looking back at my wedding day, there was one moment where I was like, man, if we would have been filming and we were the videographers, I would have seriously had probably a story to tell. Maybe not, but
Okay.
it
Should
was.
have Dallin on here.
Yeah, we should have Dallin just sitting right here.
Just sit here and talk about your wedding.
Yeah, it was the wedding day, and we were taking pictures. Ceremony had already happened, and we're just hanging out there. And this guy walks in the middle of the frame, like Dallin's sitting there filming. And the guy just walks right in front of him, holds up his iPad, and just starts filming. And I'm just sitting off to the side, and Dallin says, "Hey, who's Mr. iPad guy?" And I'm just like, "Oh, hey, Dad, get out of the frame." Get out of the frame. And Dallin's just
Dad.
like, "Oh."
Papa T and
Yep, Jimmy T.
that's
Just getting
funny.
the content on his iPad. But no, yeah, I hope I wasn't a groomzilla.
No, you weren't. Did you have Groomzilla moments though? Because I feel like you can have those moments without being an actual Groomzilla. Because I'd say most of these stories we're about to read are because throughout the day they were consistently a Zilla. But I feel like we all have we all have the right to be a Zilla in
Groomzilla.
certain moments on our special day.
I can't look back and say,
You guys are too chill. Probably the wrong person to ask
well,
about this actually.
no, like it was stressful when we went to San Francisco, but I wouldn't say there was any like,
You
man, I don't
pick
know.
vendors who all just kind of roll with everything.
Yeah, we all knew each other. We
Yeah.
had all worked together for a long time.
Yeah.
Let me come back to that.
It's
Let me-
just, same
let me
with me
check
and
my
Kenzie.
journal.
It's just not in our nature.
Yeah.
My family's either just to be like Zillas on a wedding day, which kind of like, yeah, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I will say I did have like a groomzilla moment with Kayla, just her and me privately. This is kind of fun. Not fun, but we're planning this wedding, and of course, like I've been in weddings for so long,
Yeah.
where Kayla was like, "Hey, like I don't really know what to do here. Maybe you just
Mhm.
kind of take that over." So I was kind of spearheading a lot of things. She was doing a lot of planning
Yeah.
as well, but there were things where I was basically planning, like, okay, I know this caterer booked, photographer booked, video
Yeah.
booked. And she was super happy, super grateful for that. And her whole thing throughout the planning process was like, I've only been to like 1 or 2 weddings. I don't know this. You know this. This is your
Mhm.
world.
Sure.
And it was kind of flip flopped. Usually it's the bride
Yeah.
who's doing
Usually.
everything,
Yeah.
right? So I had this vision of kind of like what we wanted, but there were some things that she was very particular about and
Really?
really wanted them. And so I just remember driving in the car one time and she's like, we need to be doing, I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah.
she's like, we need to be doing this. And I wasn't agreeing with that. And she's like, well, all the weddings I've ever been to have done this. And I'm like, hang on.
The 2 you've been to?
The 2 you've been to? That's your excuse when you don't want to plan
They'll be
something.
talking to. You better get in line, woman.
Because she was always like, I've only been to 2. I don't know anything. You booked
Yeah.
this. And then, but the things that she wants, it was always just like, all the ones I've ever been to had this and this. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well. So I definitely apologized to her because one time I was like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
you only been to 2. But I was like,
Well, the fact I don't even remember what it was about, you know?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was about. But yeah, we looked back and laughed because it was a stressful time planning it. But
No. You guys are probably on the opposite side of the spectrum of when people think of Zillas. Probably have Dallin on here and Courtney to talk about that. Like, California and your wedding day. Your wedding day, I feel like more shit was going wrong than
Yeah.
California.
well, you were holding down the fort, remember? Because it was raining and you were just like, hey,
Yeah.
everyone, not a word.
But then, like, I feel like even if people did talk about it, you two are the type of people that have been like, yeah, whatever, it's raining, let's make it a vibe.
Yeah.
So it's a great day.
That was
Yeah,
a-
we
that
have
was a fun
some
day.
we have some funny Zilla stories today. We're
Do you
gonna
think
talk
you
about.
were a groomzilla? I guess it was way too
No,
early almost.
I didn't really know what. I just kind of I feel bad that I didn't contribute more to my wedding planning. I feel
Kenzie
like
do it
I feel
all?
like Kenzie, mainly her mom, did it all.
Kathy.
And I wish I would have just like, but I just didn't know. And I think back then it was also kind of the culture of like the bride's family just did everything for the wedding, and so I didn't feel like I would kind of get my insight on things, but I kind of just defaulted to whatever Kenzie wanted because, you know, I was a groomzilla towards my dad about wanting a photo booth bus though.
Really?
I wanted the vintage, the Volkswagen bus photo booth. I had seen it at one of the weddings I'd been to that year, and he's like, "We're already paying this much for photo and video. Why are we paying more for
A photo
more
bus.
photo?" And I was like, "Just the vibe." And my dad's never says no, so he's like, "Okay." So he got it for us. He's the goat.
Yeah, I
but
love the photo buses.
yeah, he's the goat. Okay, so yeah, let's just dive in. So we thought we'd combine all the Zilla categories. We were originally going to do episodes per Bridezilla, Groomzillas, and Mothers of the Bride, but we just like, you know what? There's only a few. Let's read them all, and they're kind of longer stories.
Definitely are.
So
Definitely
I'll
are.
start us off
All right.
with a Mother of the Bride story from a videographer. Turn sideways here. And if you guys want to submit your own stories, again, as always, link in bio or link below this podcast, wherever you're watching or listening to it. You can submit any story you want anonymously, and we will read it on this podcast. All right, so from a videographer about the Momzilla. Okay, so this is actually about a Momzilla, not a Bridezilla. And frankly, I feel like I got a lot more Momzillas than Bridezillas. Agreed. The mother of the groom inquired, and that is who my main source of communication through the entire planning of the video was. Sorry, the entire planning of the wedding was. I was so excited to book the wedding as it was still my first year of business, but I didn't see the red flags. After getting the deposit, I started getting the phone calls. She, being the mother of the groom, would call me to vent about how much she despised the bride and how upset she was that her son was marrying her. I had to keep being professional without telling her that I am not the right person for her to communicate all those grievances with. This was obviously awkward for me, again, being in my first year of business. Leading up to the wedding, I anticipated meeting a total brat of a bride, but she was anything but. I walked into getting ready, sweet, said hello to everybody, and they were the nicest group of girls. I remember the mother of the groom calling me over at one point to show me inspiration pictures, and yes, I am a videographer, that only consisted of grooms and groomsmen. Without saying the words, she basically was telling me, since she's the only one who paid the deposit, that this was her film along with her sons, and the bride should just be sprinkled in every once in a while. The rest of the day went pretty smoothly. Again, the bride and groom were so awesome and so in love. That made my job easy. Then came the reception. The mother of the groom walked around the entire night with an entire bottle in her right hand. Oh gosh, so she just got drunk.
Terrible.
During the mother and son dance, you can clearly see her mouth words, "I love you more." Then during the cake cutting, she brought out her own mother of the groom cake. The bride by that point was so over it and turned to the caterers and told them to take it away. She kept trying to dance with her son, who thankfully kept politely moving away from her, the mom, and the mom kept coming to the groom to dance, and he politely moved away from her towards his wife. Major points to the groom. Agreed. The mom still had a liquor bottle in her hand. Then, during the sparkler exit, the mom was bawling her eyes out in front of everybody about how upset she was. Her friend her friend who was consoling her said, "It's okay, he's allowed to be happy." And yes, the mom is married. That wasn't really my question, but thanks for answering it. All of the audio is in the raw footage, which they bought. I went back in and removed a lot of it with a winky face, crying winky face, saving relationships and all. What a nightmare. At least it wasn't towards me. Good luck to the bride.
That's got to be one of the worst
There
Momzillas.
are, and Kenzie and I talk about this. Luckily, it's not in our families, but there are some people who I swear the moms of these grooms are more in love with their son than they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Borderline creepy how much they are in love with their son. Mama's boy, whatever it is, way too attached. The bride is somehow stealing their son away from them, and they don't know how to cut the cord.
I'll tell you what I didn't like. The cake.
Yeah.
What mom makes a cake?
A narcissistic
That
mother.
is very narcissistic.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's probably
Like,
the
this
worst
is my day
Momzilla.
type of
The
thing.
worst Momzilla I think I've ever heard.
Oh, that's horrible. Also, bawling during the exit, grow up.
And going into the bridal suite and just saying, "Hey, by the way, since I paid for this video, is not her video. This is
Yeah.
my video." She is just being peppered in there.
Yeah.
Because we've had a Momzilla before,
Oh, yeah.
right? The one that you and I are thinking of, she kind of
Yeah.
had something similar of kind of, it's my party,
Yeah.
my guests are coming.
Yeah.
They're just kind of on the side. But to just openly go into the bridal suite and sabotage it like that, that's just
Weird.
messed up. That's just messed
Especially
up.
the mother of the bride really has or the mother of the groom, there's really no need for her to be in the bridal suite.
Yeah.
It's more of a bride and her mom thing.
And our girls, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the mother of the groom's in there, but it's usually by invite. They want her to be a part of it, but like, yeah, don't just barge in. But yeah, some moms are just so obsessed with their sons, and that's gonna be a hard marriage.
I'm just wondering how, like,
They feel this competition between them and the bride.
it's
This
just hard.
threat almost.
It's hard to picture the relationship getting to the marriage with how involved that mom is. Like, cause who knows how long they've been dating? I can only imagine there's been so many episodes of the mom being like, "No,
Yeah.
he's my son. Get away."
Props to the bride if she just says bit this bullet the entire time,
Mad props.
and props to the groom for actually making sure he was focusing on his bride throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because some grooms just say, "Oh, it's my mom," and
Yeah.
and they think, "Oh, it's my mom. Like I'm her only son, or I'm her favorite son. Like I have to be there for." It's like no, like the whole point of marrying is to start your own family. You there's a fine line between like giving up your own and like starting a new one.
It reminds me of This Is Us when something happens between Rebecca and Kate, and Rebecca starts venting to Toby, and he goes, "Whoa,
Yeah.
I'm Team Kate. Like, I love you both. I'm Team Kate all the way."
Yeah, that was a good
So,
moment.
mad props to the groom for just
Yeah.
kind of like shuffling away from his mom and dancing with his wife. That's terrible.
Yeah, to come to your son on the
Come
dance
on.
floor and try to dance with him, and
Come on.
just like it's not your day. Oh,
If we filmed that wedding,
yeah.
or if you filmed that wedding, and they bought the raw footage and the audio, would you like go back
No.
and doctor it? You just
Stay toxic.
you would just deliver it.
No, document, don't produce.
Yeah, I guess.
I think year one me. She said
probably
it was
would.
year one. Might have been have a different answer,
Yeah.
but I think now I'm like no, like you know how your wedding day went. Here's
Yeah.
you're paying for the raw. Here's
It's
the
true.
raw. And I think also
Man, that's a lot.
hearing that raw footage of the mom crying might be a good thing to hear.
I was about to say, you're giving her some ammo.
It might be
For
good to
life.
have that ammunition on your mother-in-law to say you were crying,
You were terrible.
you were against this this marriage.
So yeah, you don't care about their relationship. You
No, I
just-
think in the long run, I think it would help. Again, the guilty pleasure should be hard. This could be a good thing for the mom to hear.
it could.
Good.
Or it could tear apart
Mainly,
their
especially
family.
if the groom is like in the dark about it. I think it'd be good for the bride to show the groom like, hey, you gotta.
You got a crazy mom.
My dad's advice to newlywed couples is when you get married, move 5 states away from your in-laws or your family, because you have to learn how to be on your own
Right.
without your parents intervening.
Mhm.
Especially with helicopter parents. And this mom is definitely a helicopter mom. And so I
Definitely.
think they should move 5 states away,
Yeah.
set some boundaries.
There's no way the groom is in the dark.
Yeah.
Though.
I don't
The,
think he is.
the second
I
his
don't
mom
think he
brings
is.
out the cake, no way.
Yeah, I don't think he is. But some grooms are. Some guys are with their moms.
With that situation, I would definitely agree with the move 5 states away. That's you're out of there.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope they don't watch that raw footage that you gave them. Okay.
would totally send
will. I'll read up the next one here from a videographer. This is a Bridezilla. Whoop whoop. Actually, before the Momzilla part, let me tell you about a Momzilla who still owes me $650.
Oh, gosh.
Many,
Say her name.
many years ago. I don't even remember her name.
She's the one who knocks.
Same thing. She was always the one like inquiring.
Mm.
And it was after this wedding where I swore like never ever again will I work with the mom. It's always the bride or the groom. Put it in the contract like I'm not working with the mom.
Mm-hmm.
She I didn't even know the couple showing up to the wedding day, and she was handling the payments, the mom. And this is back before I wasn't charging the full thing before filming. It was upon delivery,
Got
like
you.
the last little bit was due. And I gave the film away, and she's like, "Can I send a check?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, send
No
a check."
way.
Like it's nothing big. Most of it has been paid. It was just this little bit. And she's like, "Okay, sent." Week goes by, nothing. 2 weeks, and I start following up, like, "Hey, the check wasn't sent," or like, "What happened? Not receiving it." "Oh, sorry, this was happening." Blah blah blah. I'll send another one. So-called Monday, she sends it, and it still is not there. By the next week, follow up, nothing. Ghost me, and like I follow up.
Say her name. Say her name.
I don't remember, but it was a beautiful wedding, and
Whoa.
it was one of those weddings where they were like loaded, and I was like, I should have charged more. But
Yeah.
$650 or how much
Couldn't
it
swing
was,
650.
she wouldn't
Wow.
send it,
That's wild.
and she just stopped talking to me. I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, because nowadays we have we use a legal page for our contracts, and we bought one of her addendums, the third party addendum. So even if the mother of the bride inquires, I always have her connect me right away to the bride. Because I have questions for the bride that the mom couldn't answer, like what's important to you. It's your love story. It's your wedding. It's your marriage. And I'll have the mom attach those emails, but then we put in a clause, the third party addendum clause. So the bride and groom are the ones who were contracted to serve. But then the payor, the third party addendum payor, the mom will still sign it because she's handling the payments, but it releases us from any obligation to the mom, just the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
Even if the mom's the one inquiring with us, we try to immediately get that contact from the mom to the couple for that exact reason.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
And recently in our community, we've had a lot of people asking, what do you do with contracts and templates? So if you haven't checked out the legal page, go check her out.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
She's incredible. All right. This next story is from a videographer about a bridezilla. Okay. This was right at the beginning of my film career. It kind of seems like there's a theme of these happening
learn
at the
a
very
lot.
beginning. Yeah, we learn a lot.
Yeah.
This was right at the beginning of my film career. I just started using contracts, and I still had a full-time job on top of wedding filmmaking. Right during my transition of quitting my job and going full-time, I had my coworker, who was a good friend, book me for her wedding. We were excited, and they signed the contract and paid my 50% down deposit. We get everything scheduled out, and she buys her dress, and then all of a sudden, she stops communicating completely. We're about 2 weeks from the wedding with almost no communication, and I see a chunk of money come out of my bank account. I was confused, and then I got an email from the bride's mom that said, "Hey, Dylan." I don't care if you use my name. Okay, they gave. Thanks, Dylan.
Bleep.
Thanks. Hey, Dylan. We unfortunately had to call off the wedding. This is blank's third time getting engaged, so it just isn't working anymore. Good luck moving forward. So I check my honeybook, and I have a notification that says blank's payment has been marked as a fraudulent transaction. They marked the down payment as a fraud, and all the money got taken out of my account without any notification.
Joking.
I talked to Honeybook, and they filed a dispute. 2 months later, they say, despite your signed contracts, we've ruled in favor of the client. So I eventually fell out of contact with them. I figured small claims court wasn't the right option moving forward, considering it was a friend and not just some stranger. But if I was in that position again, I'd fight a little harder for my business. Who knows how many people they've ended up scamming just by marking a payment as fraud. Ouch.
I mean, third one, probably at least 3 videographers, right?
Ouch. Was it their third time calling it off? Third time getting engaged, so it just isn't working out, unfortunately. They've been engaged 3 times and calling it, oh yeah, maybe it was the same person. That's kind of like what it sounds like. So it just isn't working out.
I learned this from legal terms, from the legal page, also Larev and some other friends. Small claims court would have been a bad idea if her contract said the word deposit.
Right.
What we've learned, and this is great for our listeners, a deposit can always be argued as refundable.
Right.
And they can mark it as a fraudulent thing. Retainer is the word you want to use because deposit means you're putting a deposit down, right, on a product, service in this case, that you're going to receive. And if you never get that service, then the deposit is void.
Right.
But a retainer is you're paying the retainer solely for us to hold the date, to keep you in our calendar. Whether it happens or not, that's what that money is for. And then we count that towards the payment, towards the full payment. But then I was like, if you get sued, if you're in a small claims court, and in their contract, if it says like deposit, the court can rule easily against you. And even saying non-refundable deposit doesn't save you. You have to say the word retainer for that initial payment.
Lesson learned.
So I wonder if Honeybook just like saw the word deposit and said, no, it's not even worth it. Man. But still so sad.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
They marked it as a fraud.
Yeah.
And they know each other.
Yeah. That's awkward at work.
What's your
Jerry?
How's it
That
going?
was the broken engagement. Show me money.
Especially because they work together and they know each other's salaries pretty much. Hey, I knew you can afford it.
I just want to picture walking up to him with the keyboard and slap him in the face. You owe me money.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Filming weddings for coworkers, that's a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a blurred line.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to kind of skip to the groom. We'll just kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, let's do a groom one.
I'm going to do a Groomzilla from a videographer. I was second shooting a high-end wedding, and during groom prep, the groom was taking his time with steaming his attire. The photographer and I decided to get candids of the groomsmen that were getting dressed while the groom finished up. At one moment, the groom decided he was ready and started getting ready. However, the photographer had exited the room to start setting up a flash and softbox for the main photographer. I politely tell the groom that we should wait for the photographer to come in so he doesn't have to do everything twice. In that moment, he starts yelling at me, saying that it's his day and we should do it on his time, and that there was no point in filming the groomsmen in front of everyone. For context, I'm a female videographer, so naturally I panicked, told the groom he was absolutely right, and ran to grab the photographer. After that, it was extremely awkward, but eventually he loosened up after trying to make small talk and letting him talk about himself for 10 minutes. Men are simple creatures. He didn't apologize, though, for yelling at me. That's wild. Yeah, when in doubt, ladies, just you get a guy to talk about himself.
Yeah, he'll get over it.
He'll be fine.
Man,
That's crazy. That's
just
so
screams
awkward.
at her.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah,
softbox sounds like they had a whole
Mhm.
massive rig.
yeah. Couple things here. We have to stop treating our couples like they don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not faulting the videographer here. I'm saying we have to start accepting the fact that we are event videographers and they are VIPs at that event. And if they say something, it goes. The customer's always right type of mentality, right? If he says, I'm ready now, we leave right away, grab the photographer, and we rush back in. We just say, okay, 1 second, we don't need to, justify ourselves or explain ourselves. We just need to do what they ask us to do. We're at their mercy there. Whether they're chivalrous or kind, it's kind of besides the point. Our job is to adapt. Does that make sense? That's my take.
No, yeah, it did make sense.
Same thing like if you're an event videographer at I don't know, Chick-fil-A, some luxury event for Chick-fil-A, and Dan Cathy, the CEO, asks you to do something. He's the VIP, so you just do it,
Yeah, we provide a service.
But it sounds like the videographer's like, yeah, let me go get the photographer really quick, and he starts yelling. He kind of lost his cool.
Yeah, doesn't sound like a very nice groom.
Maybe he was stressed that all of his clothes weren't steamed. I don't know. Maybe,
He was.
I don't know.
Sounds like he was taking his sweet time steaming the clothes.
Yeah.
But then to just finish and be like, all right, my turn.
Maybe he was pissed that he was steaming his own clothes while he was hearing all of his boys getting cool shots with the videographer and photographer. He had some FOMO, and then it all came out on the videographer.
Which is interesting to me because I feel like whether you're the bride or the groom, I feel like you hire your vendors so that you can enjoy your day.
Yeah.
I know on my wedding day, I just trusted that Dallin was getting all the shots.
Yeah.
Like we were just hanging out. We were playing
Yeah.
Super Smash Bros.
I lost
Doing
hard.
whatever. You what?
I lost hard to your friend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lose now.
No, you always lose the Smash.
I wouldn't say always.
You've gotten a lot
I
better.
think I 3-0'd you last time we played.
2-0.
3-0.
2-0.
Best
But
of 3.
you play every night.
Best of 5, excuse me.
I don't even own a Switch.
I wouldn't play every night.
You watch a lot of videos.
I do.
I don't even own a Switch.
You lost. 3-0.
You still
but you
never
trusted
get
Dallin.
it.
You trusted Dallin.
Can't you just move on from that?
You lost. I don't know what you want me to say.
All right. Okay.
We move.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Anything else on this story?
No.
Okay. We'll revisit
No,
Smash.
but you
another
trusted
episode.
Dallin?
I do. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. I trusted Dallin, and I don't think there was a single moment during the day where I was like, "Where is Dallin? I need him to film this."
To Dallin's credit, though, he would never give that. He would never make that situation present itself.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. But I don't know. From my point of view, I'm just not thinking about where's the videographer, where's the photographer. I knew who they are. And again, yeah, this is probably biased because I've worked with Courtney, I've worked with Dallin. I know how they work, so
Sure.
I knew not to worry about it. But I just feel like putting in the research beforehand, hiring your videographer, your photographer, getting to know them on consultation calls, things like that.
Mhm.
You should have peace of mind
Yeah.
that everything's just it's gonna look perfect.
Yeah.
You're gonna get good galleries, good video.
Yeah,
If
trust
they
your
don't,
team.
if your team doesn't speak up, you shouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, and it sounds like the photographer left because nothing was happening, which we do all the time. Like, oh, nothing's happening. I'll come back later. Sounds like right when he decided to leave, the groom decided he was ready. And that's not on nobody. You can't. Things gotta get done. And I bet that the timeline was just being overlooked too. I bet the photographer's like, well, we're behind, so who knows what's happening? I'm just
Right.
gonna go. You can't just be on call. But like, going to my original point, still, you do. That's sadly the nature of the gig. You got to kind of bend over backwards for these couples, and just if the groom's ready, you go.
Yeah,
You
you adapt.
go.
You
Mhm.
adapt.
Also, nice of the videographer. Maybe I'm just not that warm, but if the groom is ready to go and he's kind of impatient, sorry the photographer missed it. You can
Mhm.
catch up later. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
if he's like antsy about it, and maybe the venue's big and I have to run all the way across. I don't know. I'm not gonna like sorry you weren't there. And
Oh, so you would just tell the
I
photographer?
would just
like,
start
"Sorry."
shooting. Like yeah, okay,
Okay.
like I'm here. Like
Yeah, you wouldn't wait for the photographer.
depends on the situation. But I think for groom prep shots, no, I wouldn't.
Was there a second photographer? It said it was a high-end
It's kind of
wedding.
when I show up at like for the bridal hanging and they've already shot the bride dress hanging up and they've already taken it
Mhm.
down and we just missed it. You know what I mean? It's like one of those shots to me. It's like so unimportant. I wouldn't care to go run across and find the photographer.
Right.
And
Right.
also, if it is more of a high end wedding,
There should be
then
two.
all the more reason that you're not in charge of the photographer.
It's true.
You know.
And I would hope there's a second photographer tackling it. So
We also get their numbers the morning of, and we text pretty well.
Say, "Hey, where are you?"
Like, hey,
Yeah.
groom prep starting, and I just start shooting. But like,
Yeah.
if you want to come, if you can make it, you can make it.
yeah. All right, let's do another one. Bridezillas from a videographer standpoint of view. Whoopsie, I just accidentally switched this one. Okay. Excuse me. Wrong pipe.
Lo-
I'm dying. Okay.
Drink some water.
Um,
We're cutting this out anyway.
yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
we won't.
Let me drink my good and gather water while you drink your Fiji water. Which crazy product placement. Fiji's not from Fiji. You learned that the old-fashioned
I
way
also
of just
learned
reading
like
the
recently
bottle
that Mount Fuji and Fiji are completely
are different.
places.
Didn't you read it by reading the bottle?
I think
I
so.
think you did. Which is crazy because I would think
Iowa.
is it really Iowa? I was like, what?
How do you
No,
find out?
I think it's from the Fiji Islands.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
But
from
you
Fiji.
thought it was Mount Fuji. that it
I
came
did.
from.
That's what I thought. I thought
Because-
Mount Fuji and Fiji were the same thing,
Yeah.
but Mount Fuji's in
isn't it-
Japan,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. I think so.
Is Fiji not in Japan?
We Americans are not good with.
Yeah, this was bottled and sourced in Fiji.
Yeah.
I just thought.
But
I
you
thought
thought it was
Fuji
Fuji.
and Fiji were the same.
Because isn't it like volcanic something rock that it's filtered through or something?
Natural
So you-
artisan water
so
from
you
the
f-
islands of Fiji.
Okay. Yeah. Man, Fiji's good though.
Fiji water comes from a sustainable ancient aquifer deep in the earth of the islands of Fiji, bottled at the source. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I see how it could be confused with Mount Fuji, Japanese, ancient.
Yeah, all sounds the same. I missed one letter.
You know
Sue
what?
me.
You know what? You want to know what I love? And I wish I had my bottle, the Voss water,
Voss
the
is good.
big glass ones.
Voss is good.
Mm.
Voss is sharp.
Smart water. Do you like smart water?
Yeah. I'm not picky about smart water. I'll take Dasani. I don't mind.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm fine with
I associate
Dasani.
Dasani with like movie theaters, and so I love it. I don't know.
I'm
I don't
fine with
care.
Dasani as long as it's crisp cold.
Has to be cold. Yeah.
The second it starts to even just drop somewhat towards
Fiji
room
water,
temperature.
I'm cool with room temp. I don't mind it.
Sometimes with Fiji, I get like a plasticky taste.
I don't
Taste.
Yeah,
You
I
don't get that?
I drink them pretty quick though. I
You
don't.
just chug it,
Yeah.
no taste, just down the hatchet.
Fiji's a sharp taste.
Mm.
Smart
It
water
is
is
a
a
sharp
soft
taste.
taste.
Dasani is, I would say, a soft taste.
Dasani's just like tap water to me. It's like nice tap water. Like truly. Like there's Fiji, sharp. Smart water has like a soft, kind of that refreshing. Voss is kind of that sharp taste. Dasani's just like, it's way better than
Soft.
tap water, but it's still kind of that tap water feel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more crisp than tap water. But then I still think I would take like water out of my fridge with ice over a Dasani.
Yeah, me too.
But I only drink Dasani if I'm at a movie theater, and I'm usually in a happy
Yeah.
place, and so
Yeah.
I'm not really thinking about the water.
What about Kirkland water?
Nah,
You don't like Kirkland
garbage, trash.
water? What?
Straight to jail. Put it back
What?
in the ocean or wherever it came from.
No.
With the spring.
No. Kirkland water is fantastic. Love a good Kirkland water bottle.
You have a different palate than I do. Weaker stomach.
more refined palate. Nothing wrong with the stomach. Nothing wrong with the stomach.
Everything.
All right.
Give him a cash.
Let me get
See what
on with this
happens.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing's wrong with the stomach. Where is it?
Bridezilla, Groomzilla, that one.
Did I delete it or something? Oh, it's Bridezilla. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Bridezilla, Groomzilla, everyonezilla.
Oh,
Wow,
gosh.
what a way to start a story. I've been filming weddings for well over 6 years now, and when I tell you that this wedding was the worst of all time, trust me, it was awful. This wedding was in Sacramento, California. My
There's
interest
your
is
problem.
peaked.
Oh. Sorry.
There's your problem, Sacramento.
It's a bunch of Zillas.
Okay. Yeah, a bunch of Zillas. On a property that was well over 100 acres. Wow. The groom's suite was a cabin. The bride's suite was a cabin. The ceremony site was not a cabin. I know everyone was expecting it, but no, it was a lake. The reception site was at a barn.
Cabin.
All right.
Ceremony got
we
us.
we got two cabins, a lake, and a barn. Okay. Ceremony was by the lake. Reception site was at a barn. All of these places were about a 3 to 5 minute walk from each other, but here's where it gets tricky. There was absolutely no cell service anywhere, and the venue had Wi-Fi, but the venue owner wouldn't let anybody have the
Let's
password.
kill him.
So we were all walking blind. No one has the Wi-Fi all day long. Here's where else it got tricky. The bride, the groom, and all the bridesmaids and groomsmen and guests were smoking weed from the time we arrived to the time we left. Mix that in with some pre-ceremony alcohol, and boom, it got dicey. I've been running weddings for so long, and I'm happy doing it because I do it very well. I have great relationships with all my couples from past weddings, and I've run a very successful business. This was not the case with this couple. Marijuana, for those that don't know, tends to make people with anxiety extra anxious. And this bride has anxiety, and I mean she, in all caps, had anxiety. She was so worried about running behind all day and yelled at the photographer and I all day long. It was the hardest thing in the world for me not to pick up all my camera gear and go back home to Arizona. Long story short, she trash talks me and the photographer right to our faces all day and then avoids the camera at all costs after the ceremony. Anytime I would point the camera on her, she would grab her husband and walk away.
Okay.
That's a, wow,
What are we,
good,
3 years old?
yeah, good return on investment for your
Yeah.
money.
This is how I want to be remembered.
I couldn't believe what was happening. I was so confused. I just wanted to go home and sit in silence. I don't know how, but we did make it through that wedding. I quickly edited the film and forever washed my hands of those weed smoking, pink haired freaks.
Didn't have to say pink haired.
I didn't see
So
that
uncalled for.
I didn't see that coming.
Oh
Okay.
man.
The weed smoking, pink haired freaks.
It's just funny. I always associate like marijuana with just the classic stereotypes. People just like lay on the couch, like,
Yeah.
"What's up, man?" Like just smoking, chilling, mellow. And so it's just funny picturing that and then hearing them like be anxious about like the timeline. I'm like,
Yeah.
but then they're like the ones being chill but it sounds like just amplified all their worst fears.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why she was hiding from the cameras.
Yeah.
Why would you pay thousands of dollars and then
Yeah, I don't care who's filming or doing your wedding if you have issues with them, but you're losing money if you don't get a good video back.
why did you hire them? Yeah.
And if people always like stress out about like delivering the video, I'm like, yeah, but people know how their wedding was.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people like trying to like fix things or Photoshop things. And I'm like, yeah, but that's how their day was.
Mhm.
And they know that. And especially if it's like they're trying to avoid the camera, it's like, well, what are you going to do? You know?
We had a wedding once where they weren't smoking weed from the time we left, but
Some
they
were
were
drunk by 10 a.m.
heavy drinking by 9 a.m.
Like
10 a.m.
slurred by 10 a.m.
Gone. The
Yeah.
groomsmen, you couldn't even understand them. They were
Yeah.
just, it was rowdy. And that wedding turned into
That was when where a few vendors left
yeah,
by the end of the day
yeah.
because of
Was it the
Said
mom? The mom of the
groomsmen.
groom had to leave.
there's a few, yeah. There's
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah, here's my take
please.
on marijuana and weddings and
Oh,
alcohol.
we're getting into drugs. Okay. This
Going
is no
back to
longer
our
about weddings.
dare presentations. I don't care. I know people like it's your way to party, you know.
Mhm.
But I do think just wait till the reception.
Yeah.
Let the big important things, the marriage, get out of the way. You know, if you need to calm your nerves, but if you know it's going to amplify your nerves, then just be smart. You know, And I think get the big thing out of the way and then just party. Have fun in the reception. Nothing's happening in the reception. But don't potentially sabotage your entire day by starting to drink or smoke at 9, 10 a.m. Because all the weddings we've been at when they've partied way too early ruin the day.
Yeah.
That one decision ruined their entire day.
Well, I would guess just what they would probably say is they were so anxious that they needed to smoke. They were
Yeah.
so anxious they needed to drink or something.
And I think for some it does mellow them, but for some it doesn't.
And I'm guessing at this point, the bride knew that weed probably made her anxiety worse,
Had to have.
right?
Maybe not though. Had to have.
It's just hard to believe that on the wedding day it had a complete opposite effect of what it usually has on
Yeah.
her. So if you know it's going to make you worse, then yeah, just wait till the reception at least. And
Yeah.
then just go crazy.
Just go party.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, I agree. Nah, that's wild.
Man, the pink hairs.
Pink hairs. Don't have pink hair. Moral of the story. Okay. Groomzilla from a planner. I love when planners jump in here. Groomzillas are always so funny because they're so unsuspecting. Typically, when I talk to the couple, I can immediately tell if the bride or mom will be a little bit strong-willed, but the Groomzilla usually come out of the blue. I had a couple who hired me pretty last minute to do design and planning for their micro wedding. He let me know when booking me that they didn't want to do much design and had a very simple look in mind. Fast forward to the planning, the groom begins to call me every day, multiple times a day, and leave me 3+ minute voicemails every time. Majority of the voicemails, he was just rambling and speaking at 100 miles a minute. It got to the point where I would have to ignore the calls and text him to say I'm in meetings and couldn't chat. But even that didn't stop him. He would then call me back and leave another voicemail so I could listen to it when it was done. My mailbox was quickly full of voicemails, only from him, over the course of our planning time. This man knew no boundaries and definitely takes the cake for most number of times any client has ever called me. That's very out of pocket for a groom, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Especially for a micro wedding. If it was a groom planning this luxury big event, maybe a little bit more justification there. Even then,
Yeah.
but a micro wedding with no design, what are you calling about?
Yeah.
What could you possibly be calling about?
Did they say? Oh, okay. 100 miles a minute. I thought they said over 100 times. Like,
No, just talking fast.
yeah. Me just
Also, get a job. What are you doing calling?
get a life.
Get a life, bro.
Not like you're trying
Get
to
a
plan
hobby.
a wedding. Come
Go
on.
throw a frisbee or something. What are you doing? Pick up a shovel. Dig a hole.
Yeah. If it's me just being completely toxic here, I would just say, hey Jake, I got someone just
Love when Nate's
just
toxic.
I
He's
have
never
someone
toxic.
filling up, just spamming me with voicemails. Call me as many times you can, fill up my voicemail inbox so that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
full, so they can't leave any.
I would leave you a 30-minute voicemail.
Please do.
Does that work? You can do one big one?
I think my voicemail box is actually currently full.
I feel like
Never
in
left
middle
me a
school,
voicemail.
the big thing was to make your voicemail cool, like cool.
The voice tone.
You had to sound really cool.
Yeah.
Your voice got deep. But I don't think I've checked that for 10 years.
Same.
So
I want to say my voicemail box is like
we
always
should do a voicemail
full.
one day on this podcast. Maybe right now.
You've never left me a voicemail.
No. Now with the new iPhone, you can do
Do
a
the
video
face videos.
voicemail, or you can read the voicemail as it comes in. Like it's
That's pretty cool.
transcribed.
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, that sucks for the planner. I think I know what planner this is too. And knowing if I'm right, knowing who it is makes it even more funny.
Also,
Because you can trust this planner. You don't need to be involved
Yeah.
at all.
If someone's sending an audio message,
Oh.
3 minutes is crazy. I think if you're sending an audio message, like, you just
I
gotta,
hate
I would rather
audio
have
messages.
I would rather have 10 1-minute ones than one 10-minute one, Just make them quick.
Yeah, I was just telling this to Emma, actually. I hate audio messages, but I've been doing them a lot this
Me too,
year.
yeah. We've started doing them. It's been great,
I
actually.
used to hate them,
Yeah.
but I've been doing them a lot this year.
No, yeah, they're
Yeah, they're convenient.
I do.
Great
yeah.
for driving,
In
too.
fact, I think I actually sent you one today of like 2 minutes, so I eat my own
It was
words.
2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2:51.
No, it wasn't.
It was. And
No,
I
it
didn't listen to
wasn't.
the whole thing because you were sitting right across
You're
from me.
telling me that I sent you a 3-minute message when I just got done saying I don't like 3-minute audio messages?
That was 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay. Whew.
But still,
We're closer to 2
Judas.
minutes. Yeah. Well, you sent one that was 2 something.
it was maybe 2.
Okay.
It was one.
Let me readjust my
It was
words.
one.
But okay, well, we both only sent.
But you're
one.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to hate
the
audio
groom
messages.
sent multiple 3+.
Horrible.
3+. That
Straight to
plus sign
jail.
is huge. Yeah, straight to jail. I never enjoyed audio messages until I started sending
But
them.
I mean,
I'm
you send me like
okay.
what, one every 3 months, so
Yeah.
that's totally
Yeah.
kosher.
I think
Cool
I'm
with
gonna
that.
start using it a little more though.
I do too. Driving, it's nice. I gotta stop texting and driving.
Yeah, you text and drive.
I gotta.
You gotta stop
you,
that.
You do
I've
as well.
stopped. I've stopped.
Since when? Yesterday?
No. It's been a while. I don't text.
2
that.
days?
No, it's probably like a month.
Not a month.
I'm
'cause
aware.
A week or two ago, you were like, "Man, this whole conversation went 90 on the freeway." I was like, "That's impressive." That was recently.
That was okay. That was one time isolated from like the past month.
It's a horrible habit. We shouldn't be making light
It
of it.
is.
It's a horrible
It
habit.
is a bad habit.
Trying to break it.
It is. Yeah,
But
I'd say I have a grasp on it.
but voice messages is a good. Is a good.
It is.
Good alternative.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Am I on Bridezilla? I'm on Bridezilla.
You can. We have one more Groomzilla, or yeah, whatever.
Let's do a Bridezilla.
Okay.
Okay. This one is from a videographer. On the wedding day, the schedule was incredibly tight and we encountered some challenges with the bride's behavior. While we were focused on capturing creative shots and guiding the couple, the bride continuously complained about being too tired to pose even before we started, even for her wedding photos and videos. It was particularly frustrating. Wow, have I ever told you I have a hard time saying particularly?
Particularly.
Yeah, but I said it right that first time. Yeah.
Particularly.
Particularly frustrating when, during one pose where we suggested they walk towards the camera while gazing at each other, she walked a few steps and sarcastically exclaimed, "I walked 3 steps just for you. You should appreciate my effort for walking for you." Adding to the difficulties, during the vows exchange, we had a tough time with the audio. The groom was heartfelt in stating his vows, but unfortunately, the bride's loud, unflattering cries resembled that of an unhappy baby. That of an unhappy baby, making it challenging to capture the moment smoothly. To our surprise, when it was time to deliver the final video, the couple neither provided feedback nor downloaded the link we sent, so we were worried when they did not receive any response from them. We reached out to the photographer for insight, only to discover that the couple had also ignored the final photos when they were delivered, and they were not responding to the photographers when they followed up if they had received their photos. Nevertheless, at least they fully paid beforehand.
Yeah, it's always that.
All right, happy ending.
I have a hard time with the word specific.
Specific?
That's my big word.
Specific?
I always say Pacific.
Pacific instead of
I just say
specific.
it's a very specific thing. Yeah.
Really?
It's the worst habit.
See, if you would have just said that and wouldn't have told me you said Pacific instead of specific, I would have thought you said
I've
specific.
gotten better, but yeah.
You say
I have
yeah,
a hard
that's a
time
very
with
Pacific
phonics,
thing.
yeah.
A
Very
very
Pacific thing.
Say it again.
Very Pacific thing.
No way.
Well, I mumble in general, I feel like. I'm a mumbler.
You always just say Pacific
Not
instead
always.
of.
Not always.
Do you try to say Pacific instead of specific?
No, I try to say specific, but I usually just say Pacific.
You just miss the S
I
entirely.
do.
Specific. Yeah, there's one more particularly and no, I'll think of it.
Yeah. But yeah, this story's crazy. A few things. You know me, I'm very judgmental of people's voices.
Just judgmental.
Yeah. Voices bother me. I get bothered by voices quickly. Accents, certain tonalities, phonics, specifically brides.
It's hard for you to live in Utah
Try to
with
say
the Utah
specifically.
voice.
Yeah. And so, especially during a ceremony, I hate my number one ick and pet peeve is the reading voice. I hate it.
Mm.
Nate, when we first met, I hate it. I hate it so much. When we first met, I knew you were the one for me. When we met 10 years ago, I hate that voice. I hate it.
Aren't those Kayla's exact lines from her vow?
Maybe. I was exaggerating the voice. But
But
I was
that's what
actually going
she
to bring
said,
up
though.
Kayla because
Oh.
your vows, Kayla does not have the reading voice. And I told her that on the cliffside. I was like, you have a great reading voice.
Mhm.
Like you read as if you're just talking.
Yeah,
And it makes a video,
it does.
especially if the groom is crying and being very emotional.
Yeah.
To cut in that same video to when we first met. Oh, I hate it.
The reading voice is terrible.
Yeah.
Very, very bad.
Rant over.
I think, yeah, you just need to go over your vows. Just I don't know. You just got to go over them beforehand so you don't have that reading tone.
Just talk.
Just talk.
Talk.
Just talk. It's your moment. Just talk. Okay. But with this story, I will say, if we were in that situation and the bride was saying she was tired, we always just let it go. We say,
Oh,
okay,
we're done.
yeah, 2 more shots, maybe.
We've canceled bridal sessions.
Yeah.
Like
If they're
out
done,
of the whole because she's like wasn't feeling it.
if they're done, they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who cares if you keep going another 30 minutes? You're going to see it in the final film. They're just not happy to be there.
Yeah.
Why you're not going to use it?
So I think I can tell a story. One of my good friends got married, and I wasn't there for they did a first look before their wedding day, and on their wedding day it was very hot, very hot.
Like Iowa hot or
No, just like muggy. It was just hot. It was like uncomfortable. And we were after the ceremony. They didn't want to do anything, so we got one walking shot of them walking away from the venue. That was it. And we didn't do any sunset bridals, nothing. And so I gave it to our editor. I was like, "There's no portraits. There's nothing. There's one shot of them posed in 60 frames. Everything else is in 24 frames. There's nothing. None of them together interacting. Good luck." And what I learned from that edit when I got it back and I watched the whole thing, it was so heavily focused on the story and the reception speeches, the ceremony words, and it was one of the most beautiful videos ever because there was so much more emotion because there was no crutch of like romantics, you know. And I think ever since that wedding, you and I have been able to be like, yeah, like if there's no bridals or if we have 1 minute, we're good because we know that that's not the hero of the story. It's good eye candy.
yeah,
But the meat of the story should be the A-roll.
right. Yeah, and that's kind of like what sparked the 2 different courses that we've.
Yeah.
One's being released here soon, but we released one earlier this year called the Adventurous Posing Guide.
Yep.
And in that, we just went out for one evening with our friends Emily and Luke, and in 5 minutes, you walked through our flow of how we would capture a whole bridal session in just 5 minutes. And with that, what was the final length of the bridal? Didn't you make like a one?
Like a 90-second video.
Yeah, 90-second video out of just 5 minutes of just go time. So you don't need a whole lot.
Plenty of variety.
Yeah, plenty of variety. You can get a whole lot in just a couple of minutes. And I think that's something that took us a while to learn was
Yeah,
like,
it was.
oh, we need at least an hour and a half
I know.
before the wedding with just them to get like the full bridal.
Or if we didn't get that, we'd stress out. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I only got 30 minutes with the couple.
Yeah.
And it's like,
No, we used
give
to
me 5.
we used to always stress out leaving thinking, do we get enough bridals or did we get enough details? And both now, we honestly only need a couple minutes. Even with details now, it's like we have 5 minutes when the tent is being prepared and it's empty, just snag it all.
Yeah. Agreed.
So yeah, that's kind of like what prompted the Adventurous Luxury Posing Guide.
Yeah.
Adventurous Posing Guide.
Yep.
And then this month we have the Luxury Posing Guide coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, just read the room. I think it's important to adapt.
Yeah.
If the bride's not feeling it, she's not feeling it. And
Same
if you
with the
try to
groom.
force it, it'll show.
Yeah.
It always shows in videos.
Is it my turn?
My turn.
Did you read that? I
My
read that one?
last Groomzilla story. Did I read that?
You
No,
read
it was a
that one.
Bridezilla story.
No, that was a.
I haven't read
that was a
Bridezillas
Bri-
yet.
Yeah. So wait.
It's my turn.
It is, huh?
Yeah. So I was thinking about.
yeah.
I was thinking about specifically.
Yeah, I read that.
All right, Groomzilla from a videographer. We recently attended our most difficult and frustrating wedding to date. The couple on paper was super awesome when talking and leading up to the wedding day. We found that they seemed excited for us to be there and excited for all we were going to do for them. On the day of, we were doing a first look with the couple shortly after we finished with groom and groomsmen photos. During the photos, the groom was stoked to be with his boys, laughing, joking, having a good time, even to the extent that they decided to act like cows for a photo op and eat some grass and moo while on their hands and knees. What the hell?
What is this?
It just took a weird turn.
This is weird.
Weird detail I know, never before seen, and after the photos, things took a turn. The groom's demeanor immediately changed. Nothing seemed to have happened, but he was not in the mood to talk to anyone. And the bride starts to make her way to reveal her wedding day look to her groom. So the first look. I repeatedly asked the groom if he minded me putting a mic on his jacket, previously discussed before the wedding, to which he answered after a handful of blank stares, "I'm not in the mood to talk about it." Not knowing what to do, I waited another minute as the bride got closer. I remembered her saying she really wanted that moment to be recorded in full. I then stepped back in and stuck a DJI mic inside his lapel and called it good. We began the first look. The moment was cute. The groom's mood changed again to being okay with his life when he saw his bride, and all went well until, after the first look, I saw the groom's face change again as I reached in his jacket and the mic was missing. After searching the grass for a drop mic, without being too obviously frantic, the groom pulled the mic out of his pocket. Fast forward to checking my footage and audio. As soon as I put the mic in his jacket, he immediately removed the mic and hid it from me, causing me to miss the moment's kind words. Petty. Ooh.
Ooh, that one, yeah. Petty. He just sabotaged his bride's.
Yeah, the
First
videographer does not care.
Yeah.
It's for the bride.
That's for the bride.
She wants to know what you say. That's
Man.
crazy.
So, do you think this videographer told the bride, like, hey, your groom
Probably.
hit it? And you think they fought about it later?
I would tell him.
I would.
That's it. Sorry, there's no first look audio because you're a petty little child of a groom who you just married and committed your life to.
Your
You know, let's my pocket.
little groom who wanted to act like a cow.
Groomzilla, or how about groom child?
Your grass-eating groom.
You know what? He probably ate a big June bug or something. Something that
was
just
really hungry.
some type of grass or manure.
Yeah, what could it? Yeah, maybe the manure.
Maybe
that's what
he
changed
ate
his
something
mood.
that really ruined his stomach.
You'd think he'd be throwing up though.
Yeah.
That's weird. Oh,
But I think they put that part of the story in to show that they were really crazy, loose
Yeah.
guys. And then all of a sudden he became this petty child.
I don't know about you. I don't ask to put the mic on anymore. I just say,
Don't
"Hey, I'm
ask.
putting this on you."
I'll put a mic on. I'll ask the bride, but not the groom. I just walk
yeah,
up and say,
yeah.
"Hey, I'm putting a mic on for the first look. We'll take it off after."
Right. Yeah. Of course, you ask the bride, double check it's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, not the groom.
The groom is just like, "Hey,
Maybe we
I'm just
should.
putting this on you."
Should we be? I don't
Sorry.
think so.
It's worked great for many years, but
I feel it's like a sales tactic, and it's, don't ask if, ask when.
no, it's just like, yeah, hey, I'm putting this mic on you. I'll take it off after the first look. Something I do appreciate about the Sony TX660, if we had a groom like this
Yeah, put it in the pocket.
and we knew he was going to give us grief, man, just do some sleight of hand. Like you
Yeah,
go up,
dude.
like pretend like you're fixing his suit and just
Give him a hug.
slip it. Yeah, give him a hug. Do the
Kiss
little
him on the
belt.
mouth, just like, and then
Yeah, and then you just kind of like slip it into his little thing. Doesn't even know.
yeah.
Imagine how, oh man, I would pay to see the look on his face after he thought he ruined it, only to realize.
Wait, you're saying put multiple mics?
Yeah,
Give him a hug, put one in his pockets, his front, Tascam, drape it around him.
While you're putting on something else, you
The
just,
Insta mic.
a little bit of sleight of hand, just right into his little pocket on his suit. I would pay good money,
That'd be so
good
funny.
money
Yeah.
to see his face after he thought he sabotaged it, only to be like,
Yeah.
"Weep."
Also, yeah, just grooms. Like, if you're listening to this, it's not your moment. Like, I'm sorry. If you're doing a first look, it's because your bride wants to do a first look and she wants to be seen, wants your reaction. So have a good reaction and let us capture your reaction for her.
It's what
for
we're
her
hired to
sake.
do. It's what we're hired to do.
And also, like, maybe like he was having a bad day. We're all entitled to a bad day.
Sound like he was having a great day with
But
the
he's
cow
gonna have
thing.
regrets about that years later when he's like, oh, I wish I had my first look.
Nobody has a bad day and requests to just be a cow and eat grass with the
That's
boys.
true.
He was having a great day.
That's true.
He was having a fantastic day.
We should start a beef cattle ranch and call it
Don't
runaway cows. Just make Wagyu. It'll be a Wagyu beef ranch.
The runaway cows.
The runaway cows.
Hey, credits to Adam and Grumbo.
Credits to Grumbo.
Sorry we missed you last episode. Okay, Bridezilla. We got 2 left.
Okay.
Back when I lived in Utah, I was shooting an LDS wedding. The bride honestly was great and super sweet throughout the day, but during the reception, from what I understood, the DJ wasn't playing the songs she wanted him to play, which caused her to get really upset and angry. The groom tried to calm her down, but she ended up getting in her car and leaving in a bit of rage during the middle of the reception. The rest of the night was canceled and everyone went home. It was the first wedding I've been at that ended before it even got dark outside. She left because the songs weren't being played.
First of all, DJ, what the hell?
Yeah,
Like,
what?
play the right songs.
Yeah, one job.
What else are you there for?
No, I was just thinking about the DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shouldn't go down that because
Not again.
yeah, nah, yeah.
Covered it.
If we meet in person, we'll talk about.
Yeah, play the songs. Also, though, if you're the bride, grow up. It's not the end of the world.
Again, yeah.
I don't even remember the songs that were played at my wedding. I remember my attitude. I just remember dancing, having a fun time.
I remember one song, and one song only, and I'll always remember
Brightside.
Mr. Brightside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. The best song in the world.
The best song.
Yeah, fight me.
What's
Sue
that
me.
kid's name? Sam?
don't know.
Sam Bettine?
Yeah. Straight to jail.
This kid, come on.
Who is he? Yeah.
Even
Get
though
lost.
we always talk in the DMs,
Yeah.
but Sam, what the heck, man?
Yeah,
Mr.
best
Brightside is
song.
the best song ever.
Yeah. This bride needs to grow up.
Yeah, because this
What's
is
more important, the right songs? I get it. Or enjoying your reception.
Yeah, if they were playing country music at mine, I would have been furious. I'd be like, what the heck? I don't like country music. No one likes country music here. What are you doing, DJ? Did you mix me up with one of your other clients?
Yeah.
But it was an LDS wedding, which means
Which doesn't have a whole lot to do with the story.
no. But it means that the parents paid 100%. These kids were like 19 years old,
Yeah.
18
21
years old.
minimum.
The parents paid every single dime. If I'm the parent and my daughter like just picks up and leaves, I'm just like, it was your big day and I just paid for it. Like,
How many times did the DJ
the
ask to
heck?
play the right songs
right.
before the bride decided to rage quit her wedding? I've never heard of a rage quitter before at a wedding.
Not at a wedding. I feel like it would take a lot
Grow up.
for a bride
Sorry.
just to leave.
Yeah.
Some miscommunications going on here.
I need more details.
And that she didn't tell anyone before she was leaving. She just left. That's crazy.
What if the groom went with her?
Maybe there was another reason why they were leaving.
Yeah, no, it sounds a little. Sounds like an excuse for some reason.
Probably went to In-N-Out Burger. That's what everyone does here.
Yeah, it's a vibe. All right, the last Bridezilla. Okay, this is funny because this is from a wedding organist.
A what?
The vendor
organist?
is a wedding organist.
Wow.
All right, this is a Bridezilla story from a wedding organist. My girlfriend's mom is a wedding organist, and she had a wild experience last weekend. Okay, so this is kind of being told
Through the grapevine.
from somebody else, yeah, through the grapevine, which I like. The wedding was delayed for close to an hour as the bride was having cold feet. She wasn't sure if this is the same bride. I'm just kidding.
Wait.
She wasn't sure if she wanted to go through with it. She had to keep playing music as the guests were waiting. The organist did. Their first look was saved for the ceremony, and to make matters worse, someone told the groom that she was having cold
She's
feet.
having cold feet.
She said that when it comes down to first looks, this one was something special. He looked pissed when she came down the aisle. To make matters even worse, they ended up not signing the marriage license that day. Who knows if it actually ever got signed? She's played over 800 weddings, and that was a first. Felt like a movie, she said. So imagine, Nathan, you're just sitting there
Just hanging out.
in the groom's room, excited to marry your
Playing
beautiful
some Super
Kayla.
Smash Bros.
Someone walks up to you and says, your bride's having cold feet. All right, time for the ceremony. And you're standing there up with your thoughts as the organ plays. Da, 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 and you look down the aisle, and the door's open, and there she is. And you're just like, she doesn't want to be here. After all that,
After all the years.
you want to kind of know that on that day that,
Would you want to know if you were a groom that she was having cold feet?
I think I would.
You think you would?
It would need to be from the right person.
Who's the right person?
Yes. I think of The Office. Jim and Pam.
Mhm.
Pam ripped her veil.
She did.
And then that caused the spiral of cold feet.
Mhm.
Should I be doing this? Is it too soon? Yada, yada, yada. Someone told Jim, I think, or maybe she called Jim. So then Jim went to her
He did.
and he cut his tie. I think this groom, to completely tell you how to be a husband here, if I was told that before the ceremony, that, hey, your wife's having cold feet, I don't care tradition. I don't care about seeing the bride before the wedding. I don't care. I would go right to her and what's going on? Like, let's talk through it. What are those fears? How can I help?
Mhm.
Not just like, oh my gosh, well, I hope she shows up to the ceremony. It's like, no,
Yeah.
like, screw tradition. Go see her, see her in the dress. Be the constant,
Yeah. That's a big moment, though. Like, if you go in and you see her and break tradition and you don't...
Screw tradition.
I'm not saying the tradition. Let's say you go in there and you don't say all the right words. You could make it a lot worse.
If you make it worse, then you're clearly not the guy for the job. Part ways.
Just like that.
It's a win-win. It's a
Rip it
win-win.
off like a Band-Aid, I
Either
guess.
you go in there and it fixes it, or you go in there and it ruins it. Either way, you're saved.
Yeah. Talk about this organist. I hope she had a lot of songs in her back pocket.
Also, do you think there's like an organist, like someone who like just does organs? Like,
What do you mean?
Like organ transplants? Like, do you feel like there's like another title where organist
An
is like the
organist?
same thing? Like, you could be an organist, or you could also be like an
Be
organist.
an organist. I
What
don't
if
think
like you're an
so.
organ collector, like an organist?
Do you know many organ collectors?
No, I'm saying that. Do you think that exists?
I don't think so.
Like, I'm an organist.
No, I don't think so. Just I imagine just
A person who
surgeons.
plays the organ. Well, duh.
Yeah. I see where that question was coming from, and I appreciate the question. But yeah, I don't think there's an organist.
Also, guess what the average church organist salary is?
Don't
Church
tell me.
organist.
Don't tell me. What kind of church we talking here?
Church organist salary
Church organist?
from the church consensus.
We're talking the United States of America. I'm gonna guess 48 G's.
36
Not bad.
annual salary.
Not bad.
Organist at a
Wonder how many hours they put in. Because I feel like they're practicing quite a bit.
yeah. I don't know.
Is it a 40-hour week?
I don't know.
The organist.
I'm sure you get paid more actually if you're a wedding organist. Maybe you're not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to like make
Gonna
you
have
feel
to talk
bad
to
for
our
your
organist
salary.
friends. You trying to get a career in organing?
No, I tried piano. I tried
You
piano.
did last year.
Well, no, I grew up playing piano, and then I tried to pick it back up last year.
You were doing good there for a sec.
I was doing good, and then I quit my job, and then I just
And then you just had more free time and just didn't want to do it.
yeah. I just had a great teacher too. I just didn't. I wasn't practicing, so I would go in once a week, and I hadn't practiced.
Did you ever learn the Interstellar?
No, one day. Learn the Batman theme song.
It's
2 keys.
Yeah. I was about to say it's
Learned it.
first day.
Yeah.
Dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope she had a lot of songs. That's
Yeah.
an hour is a long time to
Yeah.
be playing just
Yeah.
soft music while the guests are sitting there.
Yeah.
You're
I
kind of
mean,
the main attraction at that point. Everyone's just looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a Zilla moment, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's more of like just like an awkward moment more than
Yeah.
as a Zilla.
Just
I
cold
don't
feet.
think there was no Zillas there.
No. I mean, maybe
Cold feet.
the groom being pissed.
What are your thoughts on cold feet?
Again, I think it's natural to have some anxieties.
Yeah.
No matter who you're getting married
Yeah.
to. And you're going to have that before the wedding day.
I feel like we can rename it cold feet, but before any big event, I
Yeah.
think it's totally valid.
get the
whether it's
jitters.
yours or not.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
get the jitters.
Yeah.
I don't
Like I know you and I, maybe me. I feel like both of us, maybe you, before a wedding, like getting in the car, like I don't want to go.
Yeah, I just
You know, you
you're thinking
kinda
about a
feel
lot.
nervous.
Yeah, you're thinking about a lot. You're just like, wow, this is
Yeah.
actually happening to me. I'm actually getting married.
Yeah.
Weird. Is that too
Yeah.
soon?
Yeah. So
So I don't know.
valid.
The groom visibly looking just pissed off.
But if it's like just natural, oh, I'm stressed, like crazy day, if it's just the right thing, don't tell the groom that. Like if it's like a big deal, read the room, I guess. But if it's just like the natural anxieties and like just once she's at the aisle, I'm sure it'll be okay.
Right.
But if it's big enough that it's
She's,
his
like, causing a
concern,
scene.
go tell him to come comfort her. Yeah.
If you were the groom though, and you were told that your bride was having cold feet, and then you're at the top of the aisle and you see her coming down, do you think you'd be pissed or you'd be happy like she was having cold feet but she showed up?
Oh yeah, glass half full /
Yeah,
half empty
half full.
type of guy. that is a great example.
I feel like I'd be more happy to see her that she didn't run, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if her cold feet reasons were personalized towards the groom, and that's why he was pissed. Like, what was like, oh my gosh, I just don't
Bringing
think I
up-
live with that nose forever, you know? And they told him that. I don't know.
Hey, the bride's having cold feet because of your nose.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Like, what if it was like such a personal attack? He was like, you
Sly
you
dog.
snake woman. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
That's
didn't
hard.
have cold feet. I was just so excited.
Me too. Yeah, I was just like, this
I was
is.
nervous.
Man, I was
but I was
nervous.
stoked.
I was nervous, but yeah, stoked to have it
Couldn't
happen.
wait.
That moment when they're walking down the aisle, it's like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's
And the
fun.
second the ceremony's over, it's like, let's just party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's our
Great
day.
day.
Yeah,
You just hit your 2-year anniversary.
just did. Hit my 2 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy 2 years.
Thank you.
I think I watched your bridal video 3 times last week.
Yeah. More than we did. You've definitely watched our bridal video
Because
more
I have
than
the
we
bridal
have.
video memorized.
Yeah. You've watched our bridal video probably way more than we
Yeah.
have. We watched it a good amount. But you get triggered.
I just love it.
It is. I do too. I always tear up.
Yeah, me too.
I definitely always tear up. Yeah.
It's a beautiful video.
It's crazy.
Also, man, I've been getting Vimeo notices this week
Oh, no.
from my 2017, 2018 days when I wasn't licensing music.
What kind of notices?
They're privating my videos
Oh.
unless I provide a license for
Because
it.
of the music? Really?
So it takes about 5 years, I guess. And your video is definitely on the block one day. 'Cause I did
Oh,
not
no.
license anything for your video.
Well, got 5 years, I guess.
I'll put it on YouTube just so it's there.
See what happens.
Sad. Licensed music, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything else, Nathan?
I do feel like I didn't get a whole lot of closure with the Super Smash thing.
No, please. Whatever you need.
You had a good game. You had a good few games. 3-0. I'll admit it. I admit defeat. You played good.
Anything else?
You played good. You played good.
You
but
lost.
I did lose.
Yeah.
I did lose, but
I've lost before. Worse.
yeah.
But I grew.
Right.
Don't judge me. 'Twas I. 'Tis not I.
Did you grow though?
Yeah.
Because you
Are you
beat
kidding me?
You beat me
Are you
when I
kidding
was
me?
months off of not playing. I hadn't played
After
for
a
months.
full evening
Months.
of playing with the boys. Also, Smash Bros is a game that doesn't change. The meta is always the same.
Right.
So you could play it once a year, once every few months, and the skill set is always there. You can pick it back up.
You can, but
It's not like Fortnite or Apex or we have to like learn the new stuff and like adapting to the new strategies.
But it is
it's
rusty.
It's the same
There is
game.
rust. Rust does exist.
Yeah, but we had just finished a 4-hour game with our boys.
It was like an hour.
Hour and a half.
Hour.
Hour and a half.
Hour.
I don't know why I said
tops.
4 hours. It was definitely an hour and a half. We played 18 games ish, you know, or no,
Yeah.
we played first to 21, so probably 30 games
Yeah,
total. You have an unfortunate teammate for that duo,
I
but
do.
so I wouldn't say you were rusty. I think you had definitely a warm up. I mean, how many games do you need to play to consider yourself warmed up?
Well, no, you beat me. You
'Cause
beat
I think
me.
in ping pong you just need one volley, and then you're okay. We're playing. You know.
So before we started the day, we played 2 games, and you beat me 2 times, and then we played for an hour, and then you beat me that last one.
I bet you for 3 more. I beat you 3 more times.
We only played 3 games.
Only 3?
It was only
Oh,
3.
you're right. You're right.
And that second game, I still remember because I was up
It was close.
3-1, and then you came back and won.
Yeah.
That one hurt. That one I was actually like, dang it.
I'll be honest though. I am completely carried by Bowser.
Yeah.
I admit that. I'm not a
Yeah.
guy who can play any character. My
You're just
goal is to be able to
total
play any
Bowser.
character.
Yeah.
That's my next goal is to just beat you in random dittos.
See, that's the thing I feel like I'm really good at.
You are.
I have a lot of characters.
You're
I'm good with a lot of characters.
you're
Great
jack
with
of
a
all
few.
trades.
Yeah.
Master
No,
of none.
not quite. No.
I'm a master of one. And that's it for
No,
the kitchen,
no,
you
no.
guys. No,
Yeah,
need
we
to
gotta have
play
another
again.
Smash
We need to play
night. Yeah,
again.
we gotta play another
I haven't played in
Smash.
a while.
We need to have another brisket and Smash.
I watched a lot of guys who play Smash, but I haven't played since that night actually.
Is this about to turn into a Smash podcast?
That'd be fun.
That'd be
That'd be fun. We should do a Smash
really
night.
fun, yeah.
Yeah,
Play
we
it
have 2
right here.
friends who play with us, and they just are the worst.
Down and Sam. We'll name him.
Yeah, the worst.
Sorry, but yeah, Sam, you know how I feel.
I just need growth, you know.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
just growth, progress. Which Sam with Lil Mac has been really
Sam's getting
progressing.
better.
He has. Proud of that
And
kid.
Dallin does surprise me every other game or so
Yeah,
with like,
he does.
he actually knows
He
an
does.
up tilt. Yeah.
Yeah. Still not great, but we deal with it.
Yeah. But this Wednesday we're doing a watch party for our friend Samuel.
For hitting
I'll be making some
100,000, yeah.
tri-tip. Nate maybe trying baguette.
I'm
or
trying
just some bread.
baguettes. Yeah, Will Sarmiento's got me trying to
love
bump
Will.
up croissants
Yeah.
ahead of baguettes. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
So I had this thought for
Mm-hmm.
those who listen all the way to the end of the podcast. If we always leave like a little Easter egg at the very, very end of each podcast,
I like that. Challenge
This
us
one-
and smash. Beat both Jake and me.
I would be down. We
The
actually have a
duos.
challenger, Keyboard King on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I'd destroy him.
That kid's garbage.
Garbage, probably. I don't even know.
Trash.
No, but my Easter egg is we're launching our next workshop
Oh, yeah.
within probably a week or two,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be in Ireland with MK Films and some incredible guest speakers, which we'll save for the next Easter egg.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's what we're doing today, kind of planning that out, and can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's a good
usually
Easter egg.
after our workshop in April, we just kind of needed a breather.
Mm-hmm.
After this workshop, we were just ready to go. Like, okay, when's the
Yeah.
next one? You know,
Right.
it was so fun.
Right,
so
right. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
leave that as a little Easter egg for those who listened to the whole hour.
Already got everything's already in
Yeah,
motion.
it's crazy.
It's
gonna be a big
actually
one.
happening,
It's gonna be a big
not
one.
just concept.
Yeah. Well, good.
We'll just wrap this one up, I guess.
Yeah.
That does it for this episode. We'll see you next week in the kitchen, where we're going to talk about.
We don't know.
We don't know yet, but we'll see you next
We do
week.
that every week. We're gonna talk about this. Actually, we don't know, guys. It's always something else.
Yeah. But if you want to submit your stories,
Yeah.
our links are in our bio. Submit your stories, Groomzilla, Bridezillas. I would love to do another awkward
Yeah.
moments.
moments
That was a
round two.
fun one. So yeah, if you need to submit your stories, visit the links in our bio. Type in your horror stories, and we will be happy to feature them on the podcast. See you next week.
Goodbye, chefs.